What's up, YouTube? We back with another one. Right now, we got 1090 Jake. He's over here exposing another rat. Let's see. We got somebody named Soldier Reek. I don't know nobody named Soldier Reek. I haven't heard none of his music. If he is, it says he's a rapper who snitched and got shot at and then snitched again. I don't know. I don't know nobody named Soldier Reek. I haven't checked out none of his music. Haven't heard of him. Don't know his fan base. Don't know anything. I don't even know what kind of rapper he is. So, 1090 Jake is about to expose him. So let's go ahead and check it out and see what's up. Let's get straight to business.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on a Miami blood rapper who snitched, got shot at, and snitched again. 26-year-old Jalen Coleman, who's more commonly known as Soldier Reek, is a Miami rapper with questionable ties to sex, money, murder. An infamous
Whoa. The same sex, money, murder that Thug and them supposed to be associated with? Okay.
gang formed in the Bronx that was once part of the United Blood Nation. Like many of the New York blood sets, they bled their way down south, becoming some of the most prominent gangs on the East Coast. Miami wouldn't be spared, as infamous hoods like the Pork and Beans projects would become red zones primarily controlled by Bloods. Reek would claim the Scott Lake neighborhood in Miami Gardens and can be seen throwing bees all the way back in 2014 at 16 years old, which would be confusing because he can also be seen throwing up Crip on his first day of school.
He hood hopping already. He hood hopping. You throwing up B's, you throwing up C's. You just trying to be a gangster. You don't even know what you is or what you trying to be. You just trying to be what's cool. That ain't what's up. That is not what's up.
So let's just say at this point, Reek hasn't picked a team, or at least a gang, because Reek was actually on the school football team and would even be leaving the K out of words to not disrespect his Crippin', because you know CK is Crip Killer. It wouldn't be until 2015 when Reek could be seen throwing up sex, money, murder, but he's actually throwing it down. Playing football for Carroll City High.
Throwing it down means he don't fuck with them?
Reek could be seen holding a Glock with the caption reading, "A lot of shooters round my way. Please don't get changed. Bloody." It would seem 2015 was the year Reek transitioned into the streets, as he was now a full-blown gang member. By 2018, Reek was dropping music videos in the jungles of Miami.
He faked it till he made it. And I don't even think that's considered making it.
And inside of a garage. His street life was at its peak, as he was now out of high school, which is usually when everyone starts claiming the streets because they don't know what the fuck to do with their life after high school. But 2018 would also be the year Reek snitched. Dating a female named Estrella Watkins, she'd receive a certificate of appreciation from the Miami-Dade Police Department, where she was mentored as she was moving to attend Tallahassee Community College. Unfortunately for her, that meant her boyfriend Reek was moving with her. August 8th, 2018. A Tallahassee police officer was approached by a male in the Seminole Grand Apartments just before 11:30 in the morning. He identified himself as Jalen Coleman and said he was robbed. Jalen, or Reek, would
If you in the streets, you don't call the police. Not even to say somebody robbed me. What? You ain't supposed to. Man, come on, man. You tripping.
provide a verbal summary of the robbery as well as a sworn statement. Reek and his pregnant girlfriend Estrella were asleep inside of their apartment when they woke up to the sound of their front door being forced open. 4 black males entered the bedroom saying, "Where it's at," before one of them grabbed
where it's
Reek
at? Where that money and that dope?
pistol.
Where that at?
That's when all 4 males began striking and kicking him. One of them grabbing Reek's Xbox, while the others forced him out of his room as they continued kicking ass when Reek's girlfriend yelled out that she was pregnant. Having a change of heart, they all left the apartment. An Xbox
They ain't even come get the
and
bag?
Reek's wallet containing his credit cards, ID, and even his girlfriend's ID were now gone. Reek would tell police he's familiar with the suspects who robbed him, while his girlfriend said
Bless me.
they were unknown to her. Reek would admit he bought weed from one of them before and identified the suspects as Kenson Joseph, Jawan Van,
Jesus.
Izzo, and an additional male. Reek knew Joseph lived in apartment 521. Both Reek and
Okay, hold on. Let's read this real quick. Coleman was familiar with the suspects who robbed him. Watkins said the suspects were unknown to her. Coleman admitted he previously purchased cannabis from the subjects. Coleman identified the subjects as Kenson Joseph Juan Van, Jesus Christ, aka Bezo, and an additional male. Coleman knew the suspect, Kenson Joseph, lived in apartment 521. I'm assuming in the same complex they lived in. Coleman and Watkins both provided sworn written statements. Coleman stated he wanted to prosecute, while Watkins said she did not. Yo, girl, even like, nah, he like, nah, I want them to go to jail. You a whole blood, but you want them to go to jail. And you want to press charges. And you want to get up there and say, they did it.
and his girlfriend would provide written statements, and Reek would state he wanted to prosecute, while his girlfriend said she did not. Another officer responded to the scene and was informed by an unidentified male a neighboring apartment had also been burglarized. The officer would make his way to apartment 521's door, noticing it was open but not damaged.
Y'all got kids throwing it up? Nah.
Nobody answered. The officer would make his way inside, concerned someone may be injured, but would find nothing aside from a damaged bedroom door that appeared to be forced open. Speaking with the complex management, officers learned a tenant named Kenson Joseph resided in apartment 521. He was also one of the males Reek identified to police that broke into his place and robbed him. Management told officers Joseph came in at 9 a.m. reporting his apartment had been broken into. Telling him to report it to law enforcement, Joseph told management he'd handle it himself. A week later, investigators separately showed Reek and his girlfriend a photo lineup that included Joseph. Both of them would positively identify Joseph as one of the suspects who robbed them. Reek would go on to clarify to investigators he wasn't the one who broke into Joseph's apartment. Probable cause was established and a warrant was issued.
Yeah, probable cause. You got two witnesses identifying you, pointing you out. Because one, you decided it'd be a good idea to go rob this man bare face. No mask, no nothing. Like, oh, you thought he was street.
For Joseph for his participation.
That's what rats is comfortable at, in the streets.
August 24th, 2 weeks after the robbery.
Topping your news tonight, Tallahassee police have arrested a man in connection with the shooting at the Seminole Grand Apartments. The incident happened yesterday around 1 p.m. on West Thorpe Street. 21-year-old Jawan Van is now in jail in Leon County. He faces 6 charges, including attempted homicide.
It was 1 p.m. when officers responded to the same apartment complex after reports of a shooting. Making their way to Reek's apartment, they'd find a man with a gunshot to his stomach and ass laying on his back in Reek's living room. The victim, identified as William Jaquez Jr., will be transported to the hospital to undergo emergency surgery. Reek and his girlfriend would speak with responding officers inside of the apartment, saying they were inside when someone fired 7 shots through the front door.
Okay, contact was made with the other 2 residents of apartment 521, where inside the apartment at the time of the robbery, victims Estrella Watkins and Jalen Coleman. It was determined that Watkins, Coleman, and Jaquez were inside the residence when the defendant fired 7 gunshots through the front door of the apartment, striking victim Jaquez. Watkins and Coleman stated they believed the incident was in retaliation of them identifying the suspects in the home invasion robbery that occurred August 8, 2018. At the same apartment 524, they were victims, I guess. Though the course of the investigation, defendant Juan Van was named as one of the suspects, as well as Kenson Joseph. An arrest warrant was issued for Joseph in the case, and then they got the case number.
Both Reek and his girlfriend believed the shooting was retaliation for them snitching on the robbery.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't stop Reek from snitching again. Reek would tell investigators he and Jaquez were walking in the apartment complex, headed towards the mailboxes when Reek saw a maroon Hyundai drive past them. As the vehicle slowed down, Reek saw Jawan Van, the same male he identified from the robbery. Jawan was yelling from inside the vehicle as Reek and Jaquez turned around, making their way back to the apartment. As they were walking, Reek noticed Jawan on foot, trying to sneak up behind them. Reek started to shove Jaquez into the first floor hallway as Jawan lifted his arm, aiming a gun. That's when gunfire erupted.
He said he did it.
Investigators he believed Jawan was attempting to sneak up and kill them from behind. Jaquez would also pull a firearm, shooting back before handing the gun to Reek, who told investigators he too fired the gun, hoping to scare Jawan off.
Y'all sharing guns? Y'all sharing, please.
Reek entered the bedroom where his girlfriend was, while Jaquez stayed in the living room. She'd ask about the gunshots she just heard when all of a sudden bullets started flying into the apartment. They were coming through the front door and shattering the glass of the rear door when Jaquez yelled out he was hit. When the gunfire stopped, Reek's girlfriend would go to help Jaquez while Reek called the police. Officers would find 7 bullet holes in the front door and 7 .40 caliber shell casings. Several 9mm shell casings would be found down in the first floor hallway, and officers would recover a 9mm inside of Reek's bedroom that he stated he obtained for protection after the home invasion. Reek would tell the officer he only saw Jawan inside of the vehicle and was familiar with him through multiple prior contacts, as they had a friendly relationship before the home invasion. Come to find out, Kenson Joseph sold weed to Reek, and the day before Joseph's house was broken into, Reek called him, and Joseph said he wouldn't be back until the morning. When he got back, he saw his house was broken into, and his weed, Xbox, and gun were gone. That same gun would be found by officers in Reek's apartment. That Xbox would be taken back by Joseph in the home invasion. Reek would post a video to his Facebook wearing a gold watch and red sneakers, also taken from Joseph's house, while a man behind him can be seen flexing with Joseph's stolen handgun.
That's just as bad as when people check people who come into their city and don't check in, and they snatch their chain or whatever and be all on Instagram snell stitching, basically, hey, I stole this, come get me. And you go live like, yeah, I took your shit, come get it. Okay, police watching that too, by the way.
That video is still posted to Reek's Facebook. So all in all, Soldier Reek, the Miami goon claiming sex, money, murder, broke into his weed man's house to steal his shit. His weed man would do a home invasion, Reek would get pistol whipped and beat up, then snitch on everyone who did it. Finding out he's a snitch, Jawan would slide on Soldier Reek and end up shooting the shit out of Reek's homeboy, and Reek would snitch again. Jawan Van would be charged with attempted murder, but end up with 5 years in prison for home invasion and aggravated assault. What's crazy is Reek's girlfriend, who in 2022 became a corrections officer in Georgia, kept it more gangster than Reek, as she didn't even want to press charges, while Soldier Reek was calling 911 and wanting to prosecute. For his snitchery, Soldier Reek would only do 60 days in jail for hitting a lick on the weed man's house, followed by 2 years of probation and 100 hours of community service. With his ops in jail, Reek would eventually move back down to Miami to continue his gangster rap career as if nothing ever happened.
So, Soldier Reek, sex, money, murder man, is a snitch. Okay. And obviously paperwork is on that as well. Snitch twice. So, it's no mistake about it. All right, y'all. That was another one that's coming from 1090J. I'm going to go ahead and get back at y'all in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, and go ahead and check out some of my other videos.